Hi everyone, I'm Joe Gonzales. I'm here with James Templeton, the Director of Facility and Groundskeeping. And James, first off, just start off with how long you've been here with the Rawhide and how long you've been doing groundskeeping.
So this is remarkably year number 10. I moved here in 2014 from Oregon, went to Oregon State, worked at the golf course there, coached high school baseball, did some field stuff there. Yeah, and I have learned a lot in the 10 years I've been here, that's for sure.
How similar is a baseball groundskeeping to something like a golf course?
So obviously the grass is very similar. I mean, being in Oregon and then coming here, it's completely different grass types. Going from rye and bent grass to Bermuda here. But the biggest difference is 90% of this game is played on the dirt. As much as we want the grass to look good, green, striped, the biggest thing for the players is whether it's the infield dirt, the mound, the plate. We spend a ton of time on that, the transitions of grass to dirt edge. The number one goal for us is to just make sure it is safe, it is playable, the guys like playing on the surface. After that is the aesthetics of how it looks. So the dirt is a lot more of an issue that we deal with on a daily basis compared to golf, where it's mainly just grass.
So you talked about that daily operation. Can you walk us through kind of what your schedule looks like on a game day?
Yeah, so game day I usually get here about 9 a.m. I'll start by mowing the whole field, get the tarps off the mound, the plate, let everything kind of dry out a little bit. My crew will start coming in. We'll have to tamp out mound, plate, bullpens. Once I'm done mowing, I'll drag the warning track, drag the infield, depending on the time of the year. Obviously once we get into July and August and it's hot, I'll spend a good 3 or 4 hours watering the infield dirt. We're always looking for, a cleat in, cleat out. You don't want it too hard, but you don't want it too soft where it's blowing out when guys are trying to run or plant their feet. So once we by about 2 o'clock, we have to have everything set up for BP, for early work. Maybe they're doing PFPs, maybe they're doing infield ground balls. I'll get a schedule from the manager that morning. We'll get everything set up, and from about 2 o'clock to 5:30, teams are on the field doing their early stuff. Then at 5:30, we'll rip everything off, chalk it, water it, get it game ready. So
You talked about the work that you do along with your staff. I mean, how many guys does it take to make this happen?
well, I mean, it all depends on the level. Obviously, the higher levels you go, the bigger staffs they have. I had a really good assistant last year for a couple years. Unfortunately, he took a different job. I have a new assistant now, and then I'll get a couple guys for game days and post game. We're normally here until 10 or 11 at night, getting everything ready for the next day. So we typically go with about a 4 or 5 man crew, including myself.
Wow, I mean, it just shows how many people it takes to make this happen. I mean, baseball is a 2.5 to 3 hour game sometime. After those games, are you talking with the players, or are they coming up to you and saying how the field was?
Yeah, so I definitely rely on feedback from players and from coaches. I try to sit there and watch every single bounce, every foot landing on the mound, every slide of a guy going in, and see where we have issues. But I do rely on players, let me know, hey, it was a little too hard today, it was a little too soft. And after the games, we will rip everything off, repack the mound, repack the plate, do the infield. We typically are here for about an hour and 20 after games.
Well, obviously you're doing a really good job. You're the 2023 Cal League Groundskeeper of the Year. I mean, how does that make you feel? What are your thoughts about it?
When you go through a season, obviously you don't think about that kind of stuff, but I think it's awesome, and I think it's awesome for the crew. I have a great crew of guys. We're returning almost the same guys that we had last year. I think it's great for the ownership. Our ownership's been awesome with giving me the tools, the equipment, the budget that I need to make this work. And I look at it more as an award for everybody that has something to do with the field rather than just a personal award, because there are so many people, whether it's different fertilizer reps or people I deal with that I bring out to the field and use as consultants. There's so many different people that had an impact of us having a really nice surface last year. So
I mean, there's so many different aspects that maybe the average fan wouldn't even recognize, maybe even an average player wouldn't recognize.
Right.
But as a college kid or maybe a high schooler that wants to do this, what steps can they take to become a groundskeeper?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is just paying attention to every little detail. Every detail matters, and watching how the field plays is extremely important. But there's fields all over the country, whether it's high school or college, that you're not going to have a nice field without a lot of work, and it takes time, and you learn different things. I learn a lot from different people, whether it's other groundskeepers in the Diamondbacks organization that I chat with a lot, or other people in the Cal League. You're always trying to learn what other guys are doing, what works. And there's times where we try things and it doesn't work. There's other times we try things and it works really well. So, you know, similar to players, some days we try everything and it works great. And we went 4 for 4. And the next day we have a plan, we do the same stuff, and it didn't work out real well and we have to make some adjustments. So, you know, day to day it can change. My goal is to have it be as consistent as possible throughout the whole year for the guys.
All right, James, so we're here on the field. Can you kind of show us what you're looking for on a daily basis?
Yeah, so like I was talking about, the infield dirt is one of the most important things, one of the things I spend my most time on. And what we're looking for, I haven't watered it since early this morning. We will put some more water on it. But what you're looking for in the dirt in this mix is a knife in and straight out. So when you put it down, it should go straight in. It should come out without bringing chunks back up. So then it's still compacted, where you're not going to get blowouts from guys running or planting, but yet that top surface is still somewhat soft for ground balls, for guys sliding. So as long as I can come through, put a knife in everywhere, pull that thing out, don't see many chunks, we're pretty good to go. And I'll just keep adding water throughout the day to make sure that we maintain that same moisture level at that top inch of the dirt.
So say the knife weren't to go all the way through, what changes are you looking to make?
So at that point, we'd need to get on the water immediately. And sometimes, you know, there's going to be a couple spots that are a little harder than others. But we will water the heck out of it, spike it. Usually after games, I'll leave damn near standing water on this to where, you know, in the morning we can get in here, full knife in, full knife out, and then just maintain that throughout the day, through their workouts, through batting practice, through infield. And then before the game, we put quite a bit of water to make sure it's good for the rest of the game.
What about if there's rain the night before? How does that affect your watering sequences?
The good news is here we don't have to worry about that a ton, but
Not
yeah,
too much.
Yeah, I prefer to be able to control all the water, but yeah, when we do have rain in the forecast, we might, you know, lay off the water a little bit, see where it's at. If it, you know, a lot of times we'll get rain and it wasn't enough to soften this up, I'll still have to put some water on it afterwards, but I'm always taking the knife, checking, seeing where we're at everywhere.
Is there anything else that you would like the fans to know about your process to get ready for a game?
You know, it takes a lot of guys, and our day starts early. The guys are out here early. You know, it's more than just show up and play a game. There's a lot of stuff that goes on throughout the day, and without the crew of guys I have, it wouldn't be possible to keep it in this kind of shape.
Well, James, it was a pleasure being able to talk with you and get ready for the season. And as always, you're doing a great job and looking forward to what you're going to do this season.
Thank you, man.
Of course.